Today's episode covers autonomous taxi expansions, a robotaxi permit in Arizona, EU fast-charging grants slated for 2025, Nissan's new N7 electric sedan for China, and official specs for the Porsche Cayenne Electric SUV. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, Tesla has secured a robo-taxi permit in Arizona, marking a major regulatory milestone for the company's autonomous ambitions. The permit approval allows Tesla to move forward with plans to operate robo-taxi services in the state, a step that signals growing regulatory engagement with production automakers as they seek to commercialize driverless ride services. While details on the rollout timeline and operational scope remain closely held, the permit itself lowers a significant barrier and places Tesla more squarely in direct competition with dedicated self-driving providers and traditional ride-hail operators. This development is notable because Arizona has been a focal point for autonomous vehicle testing and pilot programs, thanks to its favorable weather and regulatory environment. And Tesla's move will likely accelerate discussions about safety protocols, insurance frameworks, and how vehicles will be monitored and supported in real-world service. For drivers and riders, the permit raises questions about how Tesla will balance supervised and unsupervised operation, manage edge case performance, and ensure passenger confidence as autonomy shifts from an experimental feature to a commercial offering. Industry watchers will be looking for follow-up announcements about fleet size, geo-fenced coverage, and whether Tesla will integrate the service into existing in-car systems or offer a separate ride-hail app experience. Transitioning from regulatory approvals to infrastructure policy, the European Union has confirmed plans to implement grants for DC fast chargers starting in 2025, a move intended to accelerate public charging deployment across member states. These grants aim to reduce the cost gap for installing high-power chargers, helping private operators and municipalities bring more capable charging points online along highways and in urban locations. For EV drivers, increased DC fast charging availability can mean shorter waits and expanded travel options, but successful rollout will require coordination on permitting, grid upgrades, and standardized payment and access systems. The timing for 2025 implementation highlights the EU's recognition that charging networks must scale faster to match rising electric vehicle adoption, and it suggests greater public-private partnership activity in the near term as companies position themselves to apply for funding. Policymakers will need to ensure the grants prioritize underserved corridors and regions where charger deserts currently limit long-distance EV travel, while utilities and network operators will be tasked with managing peak loads and integrating renewable energy where possible. The shape of the program will also influence hardware suppliers, site developers, and automakers as they plan vehicle charging strategies and compatibility across markets. Shifting to product news from Asia, Nissan has unveiled the N7, an electric sedan specifically targeted for the Chinese market, reflecting the automaker's strategic focus on one of the world's largest EV markets. The N7's introduction indicates Nissan's intent to compete more aggressively in China with models designed to meet local preferences and regulatory requirements, and it underscores how global brands are tailoring electric portfolios regionally rather than relying solely on a one-size-fits-all approach. Although full technical details and pricing may be released progressively, the launch itself signals Nissan's renewed push to regain momentum in electrification, where competition is intense. This targeted approach is important because China's EV market is highly dynamic, with domestic manufacturers pushing innovative features and pricing that set high expectations for foreign automakers. Nissan's N7 will be evaluated not just for range and performance, but also for connectivity, in-car user experience, and value proposition against well-funded local competitors. The model could also serve as a testbed for design and technology elements that might later be adapted for other markets, depending on how consumers respond and how regulations evolve in China regarding incentives, subsidies, and EV quotas. From mainstream sedans to luxury SUVs, Porsche has released the official specifications for the Cayenne Electric SUV, an important moment for the brand as it expands its electric lineup into a segment where buyers expect both performance and refinement. The publication of official specs provides concrete benchmarks for range, charging capabilities, and performance characteristics, and it allows prospective buyers and competitors to compare the Cayenne Electric directly with other premium electric SUVs. Porsche's move into this space underscores the broader trend of legacy luxury manufacturers translating brand-defining traits, acceleration, handling, and cabin quality into electric platforms. For performance and luxury buyers, the Cayenne Electric will be scrutinized for how well it preserves Porsche's driving dynamics while delivering the conveniences and efficiencies of electrification, and the official specs help shape consumer expectations and dealer preparation. The broader implication is that luxury automakers are now pushing the top end of the electric market, which puts pressure on charging networks and service infrastructure to support higher performance battery systems and the unique ownership needs of premium customers. Rival brands will respond by sharpening their own offerings, and buyers will benefit from clearer choices as automakers publish comparable technical details. Before we get to our most popular story of the day, a quick request. If you found this episode useful, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. And now to the story drawing the most attention right now. Waymo has announced plans to expand its autonomous taxi service to more U.S. cities by 2026, a sign of growing confidence and investment in large-scale deployment of self-driving transport. Expanding beyond current operating areas indicates Waymo's belief that its technology is ready for broader commercialization and that the supporting ecosystem, mapping, vehicle platforms, regulatory cooperation, is maturing sufficiently to support growth. For cities, transit planners, and mobility providers, Waymo's expansion raises important questions about how autonomous taxis will integrate with public transit, affect congestion patterns, and compete with human-driven ride-hail services. This expansion also highlights the shifting landscape of autonomous mobility, where dedicated self-driving companies increasingly aim for service scale rather than remaining confined to pilots or limited geo-fenced zones, and it challenges other players to clarify their own timelines and partnerships. The implications for labor, safety oversight, and urban design are significant. As autonomous fleets grow, cities will need to adapt curb management, pickup and drop-off zones, and rules for mixed traffic. For consumers, the promise is more ride options and potentially lower costs if autonomous operations can optimize vehicle utilization and reduce overhead. Observers will be watching for the next announcements on which cities are selected, how Waymo prices its services, and what oversight frameworks local authorities will impose as autonomous taxis become a more visible part of urban mobility. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.